This incompetent clown does not stop. Is this the same video I just did a video on? But here we go.
Point, okay? Now, in terms of Tesla stock price, here's kind of the odds I would put on some different scenarios playing out over the next 12 months. I think there's probably a 75% odds, probability that Tesla's going under 150 over the next 12 months. When I look at all the negativity on the fundamental side and on the stock side and on the media side,
Anyway, how have you dedicated years of your life to this? And you'll make a video to 1 million subscribers saying, here's how I'm feeling about Tesla stock in the next 12 months. First off, 12 months is short-term gambling, so there's that. And second, where is he pulling these fucking numbers from, right? Let me show you a sophisticated way of guessing where a stock might go in 12 months, right? And this is free information. This isn't, oh, $20 a month for my stonk Discord or my fucking $100 for my blueprint, which fucking sucks because I guarantee. Ooh, this makes me sorry. This one makes me mad. I guarantee you, if Jeremy releases an after-tax TWR, which is a time-weighted return, a time-weighted return, which I'll show you mine, is not. Oh, I can't show you right now because I don't have my brokerage pulled up, but I will. A time-weighted return would not take into account YouTube money. It would just take into account what your actual returns are. So if you did like an all-time, his whole thing, TWR, I promise you he's fucking negative. I promise you he has not made a dime from the stock market. I promise you he's negative, right? TWR and probably dollar amounts too, because I guess he did really well early on, and then now he's lost 3 million in a year. But that gets propped up by YouTube money, right? So let me show you an actual way of getting these numbers. Move, Monish. This is an actual decent brokerage, not sponsored, right? But this is Tastyworks. You can actually sign up for the brokerage and never put a dime in and be able to use this software. They also have, what is it? Learn Center, right? And tells you what these numbers mean. By no means do I think that you should follow their fucking content, right? Option trading in the short term is degenerate fucking gambling. And of course, the people who own an option brokerage are going to sell you and encourage you to trade options. Don't do it, right? I'm using this to show you the numbers and make a more educated guess, not just pulling random numbers out of your ass like Jeremy Financial Education does, like Everything Money does on their stock analyzer tool, pulling numbers out of nowhere, right? Or me, Kevin, assigning a 70 to 100 PE ratio when he does a discounted cash flow, like stupid fucking numbers. Let me show you how to get good numbers, right? This is a put option. It has a delta. The delta is 0.3. This means now you can't just say like I think there's a certain X% chance that a stock goes below this price at this date. There's caveats there. What a delta tells you, and it's very fucking accurate, you can go and look at the Learn Center on Tastytrade and they backtest how accurate this tends to be, and it's very fucking accurate with like within a few percentages. Now, think back to your high school statistics class. When I say there's a 30% chance of something happening, that means 30% of the time it's going to happen. That doesn't mean that because it didn't happen that one time, this doesn't work. That's not how fucking statistics works, grow up. What this means is that delta of 0.3 means there's a 30% chance that the stock will be below 150 a year from now. So notice the expiration, it's 407 days. It's about a year out. So that means not within the next 12 months, but on that date. On that date, there's a 30% chance that it'll be below 150. What it also tells you, right? So this is, again, more profound educated guesses on numbers, where things will be, right? How can you make a more educated guess on something like this rather than pulling numbers out of your ass? If we double the delta, and you can look in their Learn Center as well for this research, if we double the delta to 0.6, so there's a 60% chance. There's a 60% chance that any time, any day between now and 407 days from now, the stock price will touch 150. So there's a 60% chance it goes to 150 and then it might go up to 300, right? Right now, at this given moment. Now things change, a bunch of different things affect the volatility, the numbers in these contracts, but as of right now, there's a 30% chance it'll be below on that date, 60% chance it'll touch it anytime between now and 407 days. This is not one, what this is telling you is it's not one gas station manager telling you what he thinks a stonk is going to do. This is the collective hive mind of everyone betting on the options market, on this security, coming up with this number. And we know empirically that the more people come together to kind of share their opinion on something happening, on a bet, the more accurate it tends to be. So if you wanted an accurate representation of where Tesla might be, given the information that we know right now, this is your answer, right? I do not think it's okay to go to your 1 million subscribers and just pull numbers out of your ass, because people will take it as gospel, and that I don't know. Like when I know at least when I first started out, like if someone I was looking always for someone to say something of concrete value, but in investing that's extremely hard and in some cases illegal to do, right? So what these finfluencers like to do is they'll just make shit up, and as long as they're within the right ballpark, it's okay, right? So let's compare his numbers to the actual options market, which is 100 times more accurate. So he says a 75% chance it'll be under 150. I'm assuming he's saying on that date, so we'll use the actual delta of the option. So 75% under 150. No, this is incorrect. We already went over this one. It's 30%, not 75%, right? Okay, let's take a different. There's a 50-50 chance it'll be under 125. Let's look at the 125 put. All right, there's no 125 strike, but that's fine. We have a delta of 20%. There's a 20% chance, actually, it'll be under 125. And then 90, let's just pick the 100, or an average between these two is about 10, right? He says there's a 25% chance it'll be below 90, when really it's actually a 10% chance, right? According to a way more accurate compilation of numbers. So now if he's talking about the probability of touch, so the probability that it'll touch that at some point, it might stay below it, might go back up, not necessarily on that date a year from now, but if he's talking about that, he's a little bit closer, right? But still, it's not as profound as it could be, right? It's not as polished as you would expect from someone who's been doing it this long, from someone who has this kind of audience and spends all day thinking about this kinds of things. Just pull numbers out of your ass and like, I don't know. I have a huge problem with that.
I think that's more probable than not. Let's just call it that, okay? I think there's a 50-50 chance the stock goes under 125, which is down quite a bit from here, from 173. And, if numbers don't quite hit, because remember, Tesla's been reporting these incredible numbers quarter after quarter. If all it takes is one bad report where they miss numbers or have weak guidance or something, right? All it's going to take is one, and the stock's down big, right? Because this stock, think about it, this stock's down 56% after reporting pretty much amazing quarters for every quarter for like a long time now. And it's gotten to this place. So if you think it can't go down a lot more if they report something weak, believe me, it can. Okay.
So okay, so I mapped it out over here. And if you take the return and standard deviation from 2011 to present, Tesla returned 48% CAGR and 61% standard deviation. So if you put that into the Kelly criterion formula, it tells you to 2.4x leverage that position. And if I had put that in there, now it's not the exact number because I didn't count for the some other little bits of math in there, but this is pretty close. And if you overbet, so if you just didn't use leverage at all, you'd have 1 million. If you leveraged the Kelly number and rebalanced, you had a bigger max drawdown, but you made 3.5 times more in about a 10-year time frame. So it's huge differences between like using margin and not using margin. I bring this up because at the end of the video, he says, oh, just don't use margin at all. Again, it's a tool that if used responsibly could absolutely benefit you. Now, would you margin a single stock knowing that it was going to do what it did over the past 10 years? Probably, definitely not, right? But there is something to be said about it's definitely a tool, and just discounting it completely doesn't make any sense. Again, just shows incompetency on that front. Also, incompetency was just pulling these numbers out of nowhere, no rhyme or reason, quoting Warren Buffett when very easy to find details say otherwise, or quoting Warren Buffett's investing strategy but doing nothing at all similar. Like nothing at all. Like if you read this paper, it sort of breaks down how you could mimic a Buffett-like portfolio, and the amount of conviction he'd have to have for decades at a time is extremely difficult to do. And we're seeing that here with Jeremy. We're seeing how difficult that is. And what he did, and we can use tastytrade again to show this. I showed this before, but it's the difference in the curve here between an index and a Jeremy stock is laughable. So let's take a year out on an index. Okay, this is about a year out. And what we're focusing on is this light blue curve here. Notice how it drops off. It doesn't keep going at about 200. That's kind of like the floor, right? Saying these companies produce so much cash flow and are profitable, and they do so well that, you know, them trading below 200 is just not statistically feasible, right, in the next year. It's like so minusculely small that it goes below 200. So we're about like 400 right now. So the chance of you losing half your money in an index is super small, right? Now let's look at Tattooed Chef. This curve's going to be disgusting. About a year out. Will it even let me see it? No, it's glitched out. Can I look at Honest? The point is, these curves look way different. It's like, there's a slight chance you can 10x, but there's a 90% chance you'll lose all your money and the company will go bankrupt. Okay, there, that's kind of a good representation of it. So you see the curve looks way different. The floor is at 0 because this company actually has a chance of going bankrupt in the next year, right? And if you looked at this paper, Warren Buffett would slightly leverage safe, quality, cash flowing companies, which that were trading at some sort of large discount, right? And they used these academic factors to show that you could systematically pick these companies, right? And this is nothing like what Jeremy does at all. Like, first off, he picked unprofitable lottery ticket like gambling plays, and then now he's trying to flip it into, well, I am addicted, which, by the way, that video of him saying he's addicted to picking unprofitable companies is fucking stupid. It's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking seen. Stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. So now he's going from that to, let's invest in these profitable like tech giants. And it's like, well, you're sort of on the right track. Like, yeah, they're profitable. But how do you know you're buying them at a discount? Because we know our investment return is not how well a company cash flows. It's the discount in which you're paying for those cash flows, right? So he's like, he always just seems like on the cusp of being there, but he's just not. He just constantly falls short, and that's not something you would expect to someone who's invested so much time in learning this stuff. It's actually extremely laughable. So Jeremy, get dunked on, idiot, and see you later.